poison ivy, suntans. What actually is true? Well, let's bring in our good friend, Dr. Matthew Knight. He's president of Knight Dermatology Institute. He's also a member of the Florida Board of Medicine. Great to have you, Doc.
Thanks.
How are you?
Thanks for having me.
Good. Happy Friday.
Thank you so much.
I am so excited about these Mythbusters. Let's go ahead and get right into it if you
All
don't
right,
mind. Let's start with this one. All right. So you can catch a cold from air conditioning.
Right.
Is that true or is that a myth?
Well, it's a myth, and everybody's grandma told them to bundle up.
Yeah.
Right. If you go outside, you're going to get a cold, but it doesn't work that way. Colds are caused by viruses. Rhinovirus is caused by being in close proximity with somebody else, and so being cold isn't going to give you a cold. But if you have like an air filter in your house and it's full of grime and dust and mold, it can give you allergies, which feels a lot like a cold. And one quick thing, since I'm a dermatologist, the air conditioning dehumidifies the air, so we lose lots of moisture into the atmosphere, so we have that dry, flaky skin. That's why we use moisturizers, but it can't give you a cold.
All right. So, but can it cause sneezing? Because sometimes
Yes.
here in the studio it gets so cold, right?
It can cause sneezing because your air passages are cold, or there's allergens and things in the HVAC system, but it can't give you a cold.
So if your nasal passages get dried out, doesn't that make you more susceptible to stuff getting in and getting stuck in there?
Kind of, but it's more about being around somebody else who's sick.
Okay.
So if you're hanging out by yourself and you're in the cold, or you're in a studio like this, you're fine.
Okay.
All
Good. All right, let's talk about mosquito bites and garlic.
Right.
Does garlic help prevent mosquito bites?
So garlic is great at keeping Dracula away and your and your friends if you eat a lot of this stuff, right? Because you have terrible breath. But the study was done, and this does not prevent mosquitoes at all. The only way to prevent mosquito bites are to cover up or to do insect repellent. So this stuff is a myth, and it's better for your pasta than your patio. Okay.
Okay.
Are mosquitoes attracted to a certain blood type?
That's very interesting, and I'm a type O blood, and I am.
Me too.
Delicious.
Yes. They love me.
Right?
Delicious.
Yeah, I have one right here. Look.
I see it.
Right.
It's really itchy.
Yeah, and so the kids can go out, no problem. I've got O blood, absolutely
That's
delicious.
so funny.
A hotly debated medical thing.
Okay.
But I think it's true. I think that I'm going to give that a Knight score of like 3 out of 5 because I think it's true.
Okay, we like it. Let's move on to our next one. Is poison ivy contagious? And I'm going to guess it would be.
Yeah, a lot of people think it is. But what happens is when you touch the plant, your immune system freaks out about 3 to 5 days later, and you get this blistering rash.
Yeah.
So the rash itself, the blister stuff, is not contagious. Now, if you have the oil from the plant on your clothes or on your dog or on your tools, then that could be spread later. But it's the oil that your immune system hates. It's not the rash. So if you hug somebody that's got a poison ivy rash, you're fine. If you are in touch with poison oak or poison sumac and you wash your hands or take a shower, you've neutralized the oil, so you're fine. So you cannot spread poison ivy.
Okay, good. Thank goodness. That's the worst. Sorry, this is an interesting one that our parents have been telling us it's the ages old of time, right?
Yes.
Should you wait 30 minutes after you eat to go swimming?
This is my favorite one because it's like straight out of the 80s.
Right.
But everybody's mom told them, you got to wait before you go in the pool. My whole life, I got, but it's also a myth. Everybody, including the American Red Cross, has said, look, it's fine to eat. There was one unpublished study that I saw, though, that showed that you're more likely to go from like beach bod to dad bod if you're snarfing down a bunch of hot dogs by the poolside. Your cannonballs are better, swan dives are better, but you're not going to cramp up in the pool and drown if you have a hot dog before you go in the pool. So that is another myth that we all thought was true.
But what causes you to cramp up then when you're in the pool? Is it drinking too much water?
No, I think it's a total myth. I don't think there's any relation between eating
it's
food.
in your head.
It was like rabies, like painful rabies shots in your stomach, and it was like one of these myths that went around that everybody believed it. But you don't want to go crazy, and you certainly don't want to drink alcohol before you go in the pool. But if you're going to eat a hot dog and go in the pool, you're fine.
Very quickly, this one: is it good to get a base tan to prevent a sunburn?
Yeah. Well.
That's also an 80s thing.
Yeah,
we all did that, right? Back in the day.
Well, that's right up there with like baby oil and iodine on your skin. So, a base tan has an SPF of like 1 or 2. It's worthless. A tan for most people is your DNA screaming at you that it's being damaged. That leads to, and I just take it from me, long-term wrinkles and cancer, things like melanoma, which kills somebody every 30 minutes in this country. So there is no safe tan. Getting a base tan will not help you. You've got to do things like sunscreen and cover up and all that stuff. You've heard me say 1,000 times. But another myth, total myth, 0 out of 5 diamonds.
Okay, you're awesome.
Awesome.
Dr. Matthew Knight.
We love it.
Always fun. I like this. We should make this like an annual, a weekly thing.
I can't believe summer's almost over. We should do like myth or true and see.
And have us guess.
I like it.
We'll